Hello folks, going to do a greater rift here, just for, I was going to say just for kicks, not entirely just for kicks, actually going for, where is the one I want right there, awareness, actually going for the, what is it, we don't stop under the Guardian section of the season journey. Reach Greater Rift level 70 solo. I've done 68. I barely failed a 69. But, yeah, I have access to 70, so I'm going to try a 70. This is almost guaranteed to be a fail, so, you know, if that's what you want to see, I've got good news. So, yeah, pretty stock setup. I mean, you saw most of it there. Normally you would be using, the attack speed one that I can't think of the name of right offhand. Holy crap, how am I blanking on this? Don't I have one, like, right there? Yeah, Witching Hour. But, yeah, I haven't been seeing any good ones. So, yeah. I'm just sticking with Hunter's Wrath, because pretty good damage. Yeah. Wraps. Dead Man's Legacy. None of my gear is very good, as you can see. And my skills are worse. So, hey.
Are you strong enough to survive the trials?
Let's see how badly we can fail. And of course, I've got people on my friends list who are at 100% ancient, because they're luck sacks. But hey, that's the way it goes.
I am losing strength.
So, yeah, so I'm using Cindercoat as my armor in the cube. You could instead use the new Visage, the Visage of Goons, or maybe he's supposed to be Goonays, or whatever they intended it to be, that gives a Dark Heart to Vengeance, but I prefer the damage output. That gives you 50% damage reduction, so a unity, in other words.
That was just a taste.
But I feel like you kind of reach your damage limit that way, because at a certain point you just have to. I mean, this way you die to everything. At a certain point, you just have to spam Multishot to kill anything anyway. So, yeah.
We'll rip thee.
I'm injured.
Oh, great. Also, reflect damage sucks. One reason you can run Ice Blink, or one positive of running Ice Blink as one of your legendary gems and running Focus as your evasive fire rune,
I'm still
that's the cold one,
I need healing.
is that you get to use Leech as one of your passives. But again, you get so much more consistency out of using Thrill of the Hunt as one of your passives, and then having Hardened, which is the one I'm using, give you just a little bit of extra defense under certain situations. I think it's 35% armor if you fire while something is within 15 yards, which is, to be fair, pretty close. But at the same time, like if you've got winged assassins and all that kind of stuff, yeah. Lacunae Stalkers. So, yeah, we're ahead of the bar here, but this is pretty much already guaranteed to fail. For one, it's not a particularly great map. There's not a lot of room to move around, and the enemies are just, like, bad. As a demon hunter, it's really bad to have things that can fly at you and be invincible while they do so. Well, invincible isn't exactly true. They take damage right up until the point where you kill them in the air, and then they just don't take any damage anymore. And they land with health still. Not that I'm trying to say that I think that's a bad idea, but I think that's a bad idea. I think they should land dead, if that's the limitations of the engine. I do understand if that's the limitation of the engine, that's fine, but they shouldn't land with a hit point if I kill them in the air. I'm not entirely certain. So, in this patch, I'm pretty sure they added an extra progress globe to yellows.
Sweet revenge.
And I'm not entirely certain. Definitely in the last patch, it was just not worth it to kill yellows basically ever. It's also not worth it to be bad. But yeah, it was never worth it ever. And I'm not entirely sure if it is now or not. But yeah. Again, this is just me playing through anyway, just sort of in a normal way. Now, this is not an optimal way. In fact, if you really want to push for the top level you can clear, you have to fish for rifts. In other words, make the rift. Once you see that it's not going to work, or you don't get, you know, the exact spawn or map you want, just remake. Last season, for instance, again, I played the same build, the Unhallowed Essence Demon Hunter, and it was much worse last season than it is this season. Basically, there were like 2 maps and a couple spawns that you could do Greater Rift 60 plus on with any, you know, anything approaching reliability. And yeah, I didn't manage to achieve that. My worst or my best run was missing by 6 seconds. But yeah. Yeah, so I do kind of apologize that I'm dying so much. I would say that I'm not normally this bad, but I would be lying. I may be a little extra bad because of talking, but also, again, bad map and bad spawns don't help. Generally speaking, winged assassins, ghosts, that kind of thing are just, yeah, just restart. There's no point in even wasting your time trying if your goal is to get a high level clear. Honestly, considering how bad this spawn is, this has not been going that poorly. Also, because of the way this this build does damage, you do want to actively seek out packs. I'm, you know, at a lot of points here, I'm fighting things I shouldn't be fighting, really. Ideally, you kind of want to herd things. Not to the extent they have you in the set dungeon, but to some extent, anyway. Again, more salt. I'm not a fan of the way they designed at least this, the Unhallowed Essence set dungeon. It just...
I'm injured.
Yeah, it has no basis in how you actually play the character. Which, I mean, is not in and of itself a bad thing, if it was interesting, but it's hurting cats, essentially, and there's nothing fun or interesting about that. Like, I can't imagine anybody's like, yeah, let's do that. I mean, certainly someone thought it was a good idea. It got greenlit and put into the game, and is in the game now after a lengthy player test realm section, but yeah, still, Mino Reiki is what I'm getting at here. But I am an old man and I complain. So I'm actually trying to focus as if it helps. But this is, you know, one of the big downsides of a map like this. On an open map, this is somewhat more interesting because you can continue to progress against a monster like this and have a chance to still do okay.
I am losing strength.
On a narrow map like this, it's just not, you have to either fall back or run forward. There is no, you know, no option for sort of a careful advance, or even just kind of using micro to move around him, because again, the arcane beams are just going to make that put you in an untenable position very, very quickly. So I'm kind of trying to work the corner here, and again, I probably shouldn't. I think Golgors and the lot here are worth a pretty good bit of progress, but they also, because they're worth a lot of progress because they take a lot of time, have a lot of hit points. So it's not clear to me that it's worth actually killing them, but they seem to want to follow along, so they'll die eventually.
I need healing.
And I really should be using my wolf companion a little bit more. I've gotten to the habit, because I've been doing so much T10 running, of only activating it against elites, which again at this level isn't really something you can afford to do. You need the damage all the time. So yeah, we're staying vaguely positive here, but again, I don't expect that to last. Probably going to get killed
Your fear
soon.
betrays you.
And the next time we get killed, we're just gonna lose like what, 25 seconds, something like that, and that'll put us well behind, and probably behind to stay. As it is, we're not ahead enough to kill the Rift Guardian, even with a decently leveled Bane and Stricken. Whatever that thing's name. I know it's a Stricken gem, but I don't remember the first part of the name right now. Do they really have like 18 gems named Bane of? I mean, I know Bane and Ballistics is an awesome card, but see, that's a reference. Like, nobody's gonna get that reference, but it's still a reference. Alright, what's this pylon? Oh, Winduit, which is really great for a demon hunter that, you know, doesn't want to be near anything. Still, they call it a Winduit for a reason. Jeez.
You won't
I didn't even see where I was taking
yet.
damage from there.
I grow weak.
Oh, good. Good. There's reflect damage. That's great.
I'm in.
Yeah. Alright, so there goes the conduit. I could have handled that differently. I could have tried to vault around and come around here. Yeah, that probably would have been better. Still would have most likely died to frozen. Maybe yay, maybe nay. Yeah, I probably would have gotten hit by... No, frozen itself doesn't cause nightmares to proc. So
I am renewed.
that part would have been okay. And
I require aid.
so I mentioned Leech earlier. It's a way to kind of get around the reflex damage thing.
Need more time.
Personally, I've sort of found that trying to do something where you only attack when reflex damage is down just doesn't work, frankly. And so I normally have just gotten to the point I either keep shooting or, I mean, if I'm not recording, look, if there's a pack early on that's reflect damage and ugly, then just restart. It's generally just the better way to do
That
things.
was just a taste.
Yeah, that was completely my fault. I knew it was coming. I was trying to get myself in a position where I could sort of move out of the way. Put myself in a bad spot to begin with, and then was just slow. Was just old man slow on hitting my vault button and getting out of there. So at least we got to the full 30-second wait screen. We all got to experience that together. I'm glad you were here with me, folks. Makes me feel a lot better when I'm not the only one sitting here looking at that screen. What is the pylon here? Speed! Good. Good, I'm glad. Oh, great, it's Ember. So yeah, we'll see here how this is just not even remotely close to enough time. I mean, we can hurt him pretty good in 30 seconds and so forth, but... And I completely mismanaged my hatred there. When I was on the right convention of element, I did not have enough
time. Not enough hatred.
Did not have enough to actually pull it off. Yeah, if I had handled that better, I might have been able to pull this off. Still. Yeah. So, yeah. We're pretty close. But,
I'm here to help. I need to go back.
But we failed. Which is unfortunate, but again, was expected. So, yeah. Just out of curiosity, yeah. 6 seconds. We'll call it 6 seconds. Yeah, we'll call it 7 seconds. So, yeah. So, that's how you fail a Greater Rift as a Demon Hunter. Thanks for watching, folks.